Welcome to the space for transformational leaders to unleash their magic, see better client results, work lighter, and live source.
Why is it so hard for us to get out of our head? I'm Darla Ledoux. I'm the founder of Sourced, and let's talk about this. It is hard to get out of our head when we don't have an alternative. I don't know if you've noticed, but being in your head, thinking about all the possible ways something can go, strategizing, analyzing, these kind of things can be crazy making sometimes, right? Because being in our head, we can talk ourselves in complete circles and not actually end up with a real solution. And we know this, right? Like I have clients all the time say, "Oh, I'm so in my head about this." Or my clients actually know how to get out of their head, which I'm going to tell you, but friends and colleagues or people that, it's not my business if you're in your head, um, I hear it a lot, right? I'm so in my head about this. And so that is the normal because that's how we're trained in our culture to think about it, to figure it out, to have a good reason for why we're making a decision. And we can get caught in this loop here. And we're going to stay there unless we have an alternative, unless we have another consistent, reliable way of making decisions that's going to allow us to be out of our head and be in receptive mode to something else. Now, if you've been following my channel for long, you probably know that something else is source energy. Source, God, spirit, the universe, the collective consciousness, collective energy, the divine coming through you for your unique purpose here on earth. That's how I think about source. Source energy is available to us all the time. The issue is we often have defaults that kind of block or deflect it. And a lot of times this pops us into our head, right? Our logical, rational, trying to figure things out is often in conflict with hearing what we know coming straight from source. So telling you that isn't actually all that helpful, right? Because, well, how do I hear from source? So this is where I developed the Sourced Magic quiz. And I developed this specifically for transformational entrepreneurs, people who are delivering services, but they're also delivering transformation along with it to help understand the information that they're getting that can help them move their clients along and get their clients to truth faster. That's why I developed this. But it really is a tool for anyone to explore how their intuition or their inner knowing works. In other words, how source, which wants the greatest and highest good for you and for all, how source is available to guide you at all times. So let's explore how this can work. There are 6 types of sourced magic. You may resonate with more than one. I'm going to go through them kind of quickly as an example of how knowing this is actually going to serve and support you. So the first type I'd like to talk about is sensation magic. Your inner knowing comes through physical sensations in your body if you're a sensation magician. So this means being in your head is particularly dangerous because you're not generally aware when you're in your head of what you're feeling in your body. This is one of my strongest gifts, and it's one I was so oblivious to for such a long time. I didn't even realize I had it because I had left my body as a survival mechanism when I was younger. And so my head was my friend, right? I'm a chemical engineer. I got a lot of kudos for being smart. My body was pretty much irrelevant, right? It was like this thing to take to the gym, and that was about it. So for me, learning that my intuition actually speaks to me through my body, through symptoms, through twitches, or noticing energy stuck in a certain place, and actually even sensing where other people that I'm interacting with are feeling stuck energy is a huge way that I know, and I know that I know that I know. And so as I am making decisions today, I can tune in and say, what does my body have to say about this? And I have a whole, dictionary of signals from my body and what that actually means, which I was completely cut off from for ages. So you can start to see how if you're someone who's a sensation magician and your body knows, and you can start to actually trust your body, that your body is going to be giving you everything that you need to know. The second type of magic that I want to talk about here is vibration magic. So, a vibration magician feels the energy of something. They might feel it in their physical body, right? It could be a neighbor to sensation, or they might hear it. They hear the vibration of the words or the tone of voice that someone's using. Some people can actually see energy, but a vibration magician is very aware of the energy patterns of something. So, a lot of times, if you are in your head, right, an alternative, if you're really a vibration magician, like you're picking up on all of this invisible information, is to actually empower and trust your energy, what it is that you're aware of about another person's vibration or the vibration of a situation or a conversation, etc. So, getting out of your head and into the vibration of the matter, you can actually really trust that. For a vibration magician, the vibration doesn't lie. And the logic, a lot of times, can talk you into ignoring what you intuitively know vibrationally about something. The third type I want to explore is compassion magic. Compassion magic has to do with your heart, with your love and nurturing and caring energy. And a compassion magician also has very fierce boundaries. So, what gets in gets loved up. Okay. So, for a compassion magician to kind of get out of your head, you want to get into your heart and you want to look for where is the love here and who's able to receive this love. And so, if there's a decision you're making or a situation, you are looking at where is my heart pulled? Or you might also be looking at, hey, I have so much love and compassion. I am just a love bug, right? And so, where is the place where my love is most able to be received? And that's the place I'm going to lean into. So, and if you're a compassion magician, that's a way to get out of your head. Now, the other three can be a little more heady, but we're going to talk about why they're actually not. So, the next one is recognition magic. So, recognition magic is actually seeing the patterns. Now, the pitfall of this, so a recognition magician can hear something over here, something over here, something over here. They put the pieces together and they know exactly what's going on, even though nobody explained it to them, right? You can just see how these things that seem disparate connect. A recognition magician may also see signs, right? Something may happen and they get a click of that really is important, that matters. They tend to see trends and be aware of things in the future that a lot of people are not yet aware of. So, again, this can seem heady, right? You're thinking about the things, but it's actually a knowing, right? Like you just know all of these senses are working together so quickly that it's not actually a logical thought. What happens sometimes for recognition magicians is they can try to back it up with logic or explain themselves when really they just know. And so if you're a recognition magician, it's okay to explain, but first anchor the knowing, right? Write it down, get clear exactly what you know to be true. Understand that you're probably like years ahead of where most people are. And so don't expect everybody to get it, and be comfortable making the decision according to what's true for you, even if people don't get it. Okay. There's two more. We have the expansion magician, and the expansion magician is able to see what's possible. Okay. And again, this one could risk being more heady, but it's actually not. It's coming from this firm belief that the universe is abundant, that Mother Earth has more than enough, and that we need to really operate as if that's true and things will work themselves out. So the opposite of an expansion magician is someone who's in fear and scarcity, trying to hoard resources, etc. So being in your expansion magic, how that can take you out of your head, right? A lot of times when we're in our head, we get in our head because we're analyzing, how am I going to survive this? What's the best path that's going to give me the most stuff, right? And that might seem like abundance, but it's actually scarcity. It's actually scarcity. In true abundance, you're not analyzing any of that. And you're actually saying, what feels expansive here? What feels abundant to me? Where do I sense that the energy can flow in the most abundance? And you move in that direction. And that might come a sense through the vibration or sensation or compassion, like you could have a sister to it. The final one is expression. Expression magic is essentially channeling source energy through you. So in expression magic, if you find yourself in your head trying to figure it out, how do you get out of your own way and just allow truth to come through? A lot of times an expression magician needs to speak to someone and just allow it to flow until the thing comes through and it's like, oh, that's the truth. That's the truth, right? So you might need to actually have a partner to process with, or obviously I recommend having a coach, so that you can hear when the truth comes through. Another suggestion, expression magicians can often express in various ways. So it could be through writing or music or art in some way. And so perhaps you create a piece of art that helps you know the answer, right? You get out of your head and you get onto canvas or out in nature or in some way where you're allowing the energy to flow. So that's the expression magician. Now, you might relate to a few of these. Definitely go take our quiz, sourcedexperience.com/quiz, where you can find out what your primary magic is, and that you can also opt in for a training where you learn which one you honed as a kid and which one you hid as a kid and why. And so you can have a lot of fun with this. But if you're taking anything away from this conversation, it is, don't just say, oh, I got to get out of I'm in my head so much, right? Because that really doesn't work. That's kind of shaming yourself and how you're programmed. Ask yourself instead, how does my inner knowing work? How does my magic work? And how can I lean more into that such that my head's not needing to take over because I'm in total trust of source working through me? This is Darla Ledoux, founder of Sourced, author of Shift the Field. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you in the next video.